Hello, my name's Gordon Hibbert from Killin Drama Club, and for the last 10 years or so I've been fundraising for STDA, amongst other things. We started by selling raffle prize draw tickets, and it was horrible. Nobody wanted to buy them. So we thought, how can we raise money while having some fun? And that's where the Killin Comedy Festival was born. I'm joined by some friends for this production for a number of sketches and poems. From Thornhill Players, we've got Peter and Lynn Rickard. We've got a regular visitor to the village from Lytham, Sharon Wadsley, with her poems. And from our own Killin Drama Club, we'd like to start off with Glenda and Leslie. They're doing a cookery programme, and we tried to merge cookery programmes with a tourist information. Let's see how we go.
Morningside.
Once again, this is
Mary Kirk
and Anne Struther in the
for the fourth
of a new
series
designed for those who think they
Hannah,
cook and help them
and more
about this simple skill. So,
Buck Lively.
Tonight we present
4 for 5
recipes using
tongue, Cullen Air,
Miracle,
Irvin,
and you
Penny Cook
can have a
shots
at these ones. First, a
Rose Hearty,
stew,
skin, bigger clover,
garlic, then you think wise, add some
port soy sauce,
and the aforementioned
tongue,
give it a good
sterling so leaven
it
Lismore
or less.
Ellen Iona Stowe
Cooker, which is perfect for this dish. Well, you
Hetzel
in making a
Glasgow Doon
good.
Creef
That's a
Largs
measure. I'll need to
Oban
another bottle. Right. What's next before you get drunk as a
Newton Moore
add some
Sol Coates
and
Strath Pepper
watch it doesn't.
Bannockburn
Using some
Aberfoyle
to seal the lid can help, but if it should burn, then run the
Preston Pans
under a
Cold Stream
of water to make it.
Calder
Remember, you can,
Avi Moore
if you
Wish or
you can make less. Serve up with
Calder Crux
and
Newton Boswell's
drain in a.
Calendar
Follow this with a
Dies Art
of
Applecross
served with
Egg
custard laced with
Rum
and topped with toasted.
John O'Groats Irvin
If you suffer from
Galston
this
New Inn
way of
Invertrossix
will allow you to,
Macmerry
while the
Sombra
shines, but if in doubt, substitute
Howden Beef
or a different.
Ross of Mull
Next week we invite
Keith Macduff
to show you his spicy
Gorbles
in
Paisley
sauce, a dish easy on the
Perth
tasty in the
Myrtle.
and good for keeping the old tum.
Dunfermline.
That's
Afford.
now. Thanks for,
Dunning.
and we will be back.
Schoon.
Cheers. Hmm.
This is a poem about my dad. My dad has sent me to the shop to get a loaf of bread. Get one from the back, because that's the freshest now, he said. He pressed some money in my hand and patted down my hair. Walk, don't run, don't talk to men, and get yourself straight there. You mustn't talk to strangers, don't get in any cars, and as a thanks for going, you can get yourself a Mars. Be careful when you cross the road. Look right, then left, then right. Make sure you put the change away and keep it out of sight. Then come straight back, don't dawdle. And if you're very good, we'll have some ice cream afterwards. Is that all understood? Yes, Daddy, I say earnest and so obediently. But let me just remind you now that I am 53.
Been a long time, Mabel.
Sure has, Norman. Nearly 50 years.
Yes.
Been through a lot together.
True.
Seen a lot of things come and go.
A lot of people too.
True.
Always been able to talk to each other. Especially about the weather.
Tell each other anything. No secrets.
Key to a good marriage.
That's what they say.
True. I guess this is as good a time as any to tell you I'm leaving you.
Oh, is that so? When did you decide this?
Dunno, this morning I suppose.
Well, must have been quite an exciting morning.
It had its moments.
And what's your plan?
I'll move out, I reckon.
Where will you go?
Oh, guess I'll find somewhere.
Suppose it'll be Agnes MacFarlane's house?
What? Why did you... How did you... What?
Oh, I've known about the two of you for years.
You have?
Yes.
But you never said anything.
Neither did you.
Of course not. I was sneaking around. You don't tell someone you're sneaking around, otherwise it isn't sneaking.
That's true, I suppose. But you weren't really sneaking.
What do you mean?
Well, I knew about it.
But I was hiding it.
Not very well.
There you go again with your negativity. Agnes seems to think I do plenty of things well.
She would. She has low standards.
She does not. She happens to be a very adventurous woman, if you get what I mean.
Well, that may be so. But she doesn't set a very high bar.
Ah, you're just lashing out. You never have anything good to say about things I like. You remember old Rover? You never had a kind word to say about that dog.
Oh, didn't like it. Hated it.
I bet you were glad when it died.
No, actually I was quite unhappy.
Well, I'll give you credit for that.
If that damn dog hadn't eaten half your mother's dinner that night, she wouldn't have hung on so long.
What are you trying to say?
That the poison in your mother's food would have worked more quickly if she hadn't fed half her meal to the dog. That was so inconvenient.
Are you saying that you poisoned my dog?
Well, not on purpose.
I don't believe it. The dog.
And your mother?
Yeah. But what had the dog ever done to you?
Well, as unintended as it was, it turned out to be a two birds with one stone outcome.
Well, I'm glad I'm leaving.
Guess I am too.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm going to take all the money. There. What do you think of that?
Too late. I've routinely withdrawn money from our accounts and put it all into an account with just my name.
You.
Oh, certainly it's unusually warm this evening.
Don't talk to me about the weather. Used to be special, but not anymore. I'll never listen to the shipping forecast again in the same way.
Suit yourself.
I'm going to pack.
Oh, check the whole cupboard.
What for?
I've had a bag packed for you for over a year.
You're...
Oh, very considerate, I know. You always crease everything when you pack. I'm surprised you didn't notice any of your clothes missing. Shows how often you change your routine. Or your clothes.
Well, I'm changing my routine now. And you better have packed my tartan trousers, because I'm going to be taking Agnes dancing quite a lot.
Well, that would be something to see. Almost wish I hadn't burnt them.
You burnt my trousers?
Oh, well, they were so ugly. Way too roomy in the crotch.
They were not too roomy. At least Agnes doesn't think so.
Well, she has low expectations.
We'll see whose expectations are low when you're sitting here alone each night.
Well, it won't be each night. I've had a standing once-a-week arrangement with Bill Green for the past 4 years.
I don't believe you.
Check with Bill yourself. Anyway, what do you think was going on around here when you were out at all those drama meetings?
You knew that was phony?
Oh, you aren't cut out for sneaking around, Norman.
Well, I'm leaving. Oh, and you know how you hate alcohol? Well, I've been putting whiskey in my lemonade for years.
Well, I knew.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. And you know how you hate drugs? These biscuits are full of pot.
Where would you get pot?
From my dealer.
That's it. I'm going.
You'll be back.
Yes, I will. And this time I'm taking this.
Norman, wait.
I knew you couldn't live without me. It's no use begging.
Look, it's just, I thought you should know. The reason you've been ineffective lately is I changed all your Viagra tablets for blue Tic Tacs.
All of them? They were surprisingly refreshing.
Oh, and with Agnes, don't be afraid to put a firm hand on her bottom. Not all of it, of course, but as much as you can manage.
What?
Yeah, on her bottom. She likes a good squeeze and then a firm tap.
You know that?
Well, I told you she has low expectations. At least from men.
You mean that you are Agnes?
Yeah, and George too, when he was still alive. Regular little menage a trois.
I don't get it. You and Agnes and George. I don't believe it.
Bye, Norman. Bye. Ooh, it certainly is unusually warm this evening.
This poem is called You Know You're Older. You know you're older when you walk through a door and wonder, what did I come in here for? Or run up the stairs for there's a job to do and think, whilst I'm here I'll go to the loo. You walk back down and your knee will tweak. You think, I'm sure it didn't creak last week. You make some tea and you brew a big pot and declare out loud, that hits the spot. You're slightly breathless if you walk at speed. You know you're older, yes indeed. Oh, you know you're older when you go for a drink and moan, I can't concentrate or think, the music's loud and I can't hear. Who the hell thought of this idea? You hear people talk of going on the town. 9:30 p.m, you're in your dressing gown, and you never thought it would come to this, when a pair of fluffy slippers are bliss, and a nice warm scarf hides your wrinkly neck. You know you're older, plummy neck. Oh, you know you're older when you chance to meet that baby that lived along the street. It makes you feel almighty depressed when she tells you she just passed her driving test. For it only seems like the crack of dawn when you sent the card for her being born. And you look in the mirror and your mother's face is staring back, such is the case. So you have to face it, the time has come. Oh, you know you're older, and welcome, chum.
Did I mention to you fundraising? I think I did. At the end of the production, there'll be a slide showing exactly how you can help us if you want to help us, and I hope you do. And if you can't afford to, well, that's fine as well. Thank you very much for showing an interest in the Comedy Festival. Over the last 10 years, we've raised £10,000 for SCDA, and that's a good thing to achieve. And that's only been achieved with your help and the help of a lot of clubs around the country. We've already had a couple of pieces from Lytham, from Sharon, and from Killin, and from Thornhill. Next we go all the way up to Stonehaven for Ury Players and one of their productions. They visited Killin, I think, on 1 or 2 occasions in the past. After that, we've got a very special treat for you. A professional poet, TV presenter, a lady from well and truly south of the border, but that's enough clues. You'll meet her later. So on with the show and over to Ury Players. Catch you later. Bye.
Hey, cracking. Slattery's dead. Slattery's bread, it's not, you know. It's Warburton's best as this.
Oh, I don't know why I bother. And you can wake up as well, you noisy beggar.
Oh, bounce me good and hard, big boy.
What did she say?
It'll be a fantasy dream again.
What fantasy dream?
Tell Ethel about your fantasy, Nellie.
Sometimes I dream I'm making love with Robbie Coltrane on a king-size trampoline.
Robbie Coltrane? I think that's disgusting. Brian Blessed, I could understand.
Oh, no, it has to be Robbie.
I don't know why I associate with you, Nellie Birkinshaw. I really don't. Most women dream of nice things, like food and clothes.
Oh, it's funny you should say that. I've been thinking I should get myself something fashionable.
You should try T.J. Hughes.
T.J. Shoes, not with the size of her feet.
Is her hearing aid playing up again?
Oh, it's worse than ever today.
Give over, will you? There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, can you hear me now, Frida?
Course, I'm near you. I'm sat beside you, haven't I?
Perhaps we should buy her a near trumpet.
Oh, no, she'd only blow in it and frighten the ducks.
Oh, she's a worry sometimes, is Frida, no mistake.
Did you go to church yesterday, Ethel?
I did. Wouldn't feel like Sunday if I didn't go to church.
I can't remember the last time I went.
Well, I do, Nellie. It was the day you were married.
That'll be why I've never been back then.
Bean bag? What bean bag?
She's off again. We're talking about church.
Ah, the best church round here is St Michael's.
Our souls, Frida. Our souls.
Oh, that's charming. That's flipping charming.
What? When she means our souls. Oh, blimey. Well, you silly old fool.
Oh.
When did you last go, Frida?
Oh, just before I came out.
To church. She's asking, when did you last go to church?
There's no need to shout. Not deaf, you know.
She's not deaf, you know.
Last Christmas Eve, I went to the carol service there.
And did you enjoy it, Frida?
Oh, I had a lovely time with the choir master. He introduced me to his organ and he pulled out all the stops.
I'm not too keen on that St Michael's choir master. He thinks he's a good singer, but he's got an awful voice.
It's not that bad, is it?
It is, you know. Even deaf people can't bear to look at his lips.
Oh, it's a good job Frida's short-sighted then.
Who told you about my shorty nighty?
Oh, let's throw her into the duck pond, shall we?
I was very sorry to hear about your brother.
Well, comes to us all, doesn't it? Ashes to ashes.
What did you do with his ashes, Ethel?
I upset his next door neighbour, Mrs. Pratt. That's what I did.
How do you mean?
Well, just as I emptied Trevor's ashes onto his favourite rose bush, a sudden gust of wind carried them over the fence and blackened 3 of our best sheets on the washing line.
Oh, it's tricky stuff, is wind.
So then Mr. and Mrs. Pratt came trotting out, tut-tutting as if I'd done it on purpose.
It's tricky stuff, is wind. Always better out than in.
They're a funny couple, them Pratt. I reckon he goes fishing a lot.
How can you tell?
Well, he looks like a worm.
Did you say he looks like a germ?
A worm. We're talking about fly fishing.
Oh, my George had a go at fly fishing last week. Brought all the proper gear he did. Cost a flaming fortune.
How did you get on?
Daft beggar stood in the riverbank for 12 hours and didn't catch a sausage. I've given him some earache, I can tell you.
Oh, you're always moaning at him.
You never encourage him with his hobbies, do you, Frida?
Oh, just a big twip is George.
Come on, you two. Pack up your bags. We've got a job to do. We're going to the shops.
What kind of job?
Well, it sounds as if George has been doing his fly fishing the hard way.
So what can we do?
Well, George can catch as many blue bottles as he wants if we get him some good old-fashioned sticky fly paper.
Hang on a minute there, Ethel. Fly fishing doesn't mean good.
Oh, come, get a move on, you two. Come on, there's not much time left. That poor man needs our help.
Tell you what, Ethel, I might be deaf, but she's bloody daft.
Hello everybody, this is me, Pam Ayres, in my garden, and this is my dog Izzy, and I'm going to tell you a little story which I hope might cheer you up, and it's also true. This little dog, when I bought a football for my grandson's 5th birthday, and I had to order it and wait for it because it was a proper little replica football, I gave it to him and he was absolutely delighted with it, and he kicked it, and this little dog ran after it and bit it, and it went pff, like that. So even though I'd waited for it for weeks to come to the sports shop, the joy of the ball didn't last very long. And so this is a poem that I wrote. You have to imagine that I am her. I am the dog who bit the ball and ruined the game of goals. I wasn't to know a ball won't go if you've added a couple of holes. The kids and dad, they all went mad. They sent me indoors, they did. The ball was new, a beautiful blue, and it cost them several quid. The shame, I ruined the game and made the family crabby. I jumped for it, I shook it a bit, and it went from hard to flabby. Bad dog, they said, go in your bed, and in disgrace I go. I offered a paw, but nobody saw, nobody wanted to know. Here comes the boss, she's ever so cross, her face is black as thunder. I'm in me bed, expression of dread, me tail tucked down and under. With hands on hips and scold on lips, she tells me I'm a menace. I'm finding it tough, this football stuff. Would anyone care for tennis? The rule, you see, for dogs like me is simple. I'll recite it. Don't kick a ball for terriers small and think that they won't bite it. But I'm not too grand to lick her hand. I sidle up and risk it. I think I've won. Look, everyone, she's gone to get a biscuit. I hope that gives you a little smile in these difficult times, and I hope you stay well.
That was great. A real treat from Pam Ayres. Thank you very much, Pam. Can you smell that? Something's cooking. Well, maybe not at your house, but if you were at Killin, you'd be able to smell the pizzas and the sausage rolls from the kitchen as Glenda prepares her famous supper that we have at every comedy festival. I don't know where she gets the food from. We never see an invoice, but hey ho, it's always very, very tasty. At about this time of the evening, I start searching for volunteers or victims around the building from all different parts of the country to use for our finale piece. Now, this is where you're going to have some imagination, because Zoom's not the best vehicle to do a finale piece about sound effects. But I gathered together some friends from around SCDA, around the country, a couple of nights ago, and this is what we came up with. I hope you can enjoy it. Plenty of imagination, and remember, after the show, your donation would really, really, really be very much appreciated. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to this week's Spooky Slot. Each week we bring you a different tale of horror and hauntings, murder and mystery. Tonight's episode, Did the Butler Do It? It is a stormy night. The rain is coming down like it has forgotten to stop. It had started earlier that evening as a gentle drizzle, gradually getting heavier and heavier. Loose Linda, the lady of the house, is sat by the fire, which is crackling loudly. she is alone.
Just listen to that wind. And I don't believe it. I can hear foghorns from ships. Oh, how I long for some company.
Meow, meow.
Oh, Tommy, I know you're here, my faithful friend. Oh, and of course you're here too, Rover. But I crave the company of another human. It's so wild outside, and I think we'll get thunder before the night is out. Oh, this is so scary. If only I hadn't sent the servants home.
Never fear, miss. I've returned. I know how much you hate storms, and I could see that one was brewing.
Oh, Albert, my treasured butler. Oh, how thoughtful. But can you hear something?
Nothing but the crackle of the fire.
Crackle, crackle.
The wind in the trees. And the rain coming down like cats and dogs.
Meow, meow.
Oh, and maybe someone tapping quietly on the back door. Will I see who it is, miss?
No, you stay here and poke the fire for me. I'll go.
Well, don't you go opening that door to any strangers, miss. Well, that's the fire well poked. While she's gone, I'll pop another few logs on the fire. Heat things up a bit.
Ah!
What's that scream? I hear someone coming. Marion, what are you doing here? All the servants were sent home hours ago.
The bus didn't turn up and I was so scared to walk home, so I came back.
But where's?
She's here. Don't worry. Here she comes now. Albert, Albert, it's awful. We must call the police.
Whatever is wrong?
Marion says there's a stiff in the garden.
A stiff?
Yes, a stiff.
A stiff what? Oh, not another dead bird.
Meow.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous. A stiff as in a dead body. I'm calling the police.
There'll be nobody at the station, miss. Not till 8. Cut back, you know.
What time is it now?
Ding, 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 ding,
hours yet, and the storm is getting worse. I'm going to call anyway. You never know. Someone might answer. There's nothing. Dead as a dodo.
Like the stiff.
Look, the wire's been cut.
Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick.
Shh! I can hear the clock ticking.
Tick, tock, tick, tock.
The storm must be receding. I can hear bird song. And something else. Oh, it sounds like a horse. And what's that now? Footsteps on the paving stones? And now on the gravel. They're getting closer. It sounds like someone is wiping their feet on the mat outside the door.
What's that noise?
It sounds like someone knocking on the front door.
Oh, no one uses the front door. It must be a stranger. And why knock when there's a bell?
They seem to have noticed it now. Should we answer it?
Maybe not in the circumstances.
Circumstances.
Well, there's a dead body in the garden and the phone line's been cut.
So?
Well, what if there's a maniac out there?
Well, as long as he stays out there.
A lot of noise outside. Breaking glass, I think. What was it?
It sounded like a pane of glass being broken.
More than one.
Someone breaking in.
Let's all scream.
No one will hear, though.
Nobody move.
Who the hell? Is that really a gun?
Do not worry, madame. I am here to assist. Please, would you come and stand behind me?
Who exactly do you think you are coming in here like this?
You first, Albert. You are not a butler. You are a cowardly thief and a murderer.
Albert, is this true?
Yes. And we were just getting along nicely till it all went wrong.
We? You mean? Oh, not you too, Marion. My favourite maid.
Albert and I are a team. He's my true life Robin Hood.
And truly no good.
But the stiff? Who is that?
Non-existent. These two just get people scared so they It's easier to get away with their nefarious deeds. I'll unite for it too with that storm.
Watch out! Albert has a knife. No, no, please don't fight. You shot him.
Bang!
Oh, you shot them. Who are you?
I am a private detective, Richard Wright, at your services. Here is my card. And do not worry, I did not shoot to kill. They will have their day in court.
Richard Wright, the right man to catch wrongdoers. I don't understand. What brought you here?
I have been watching and waiting for the right time to catch these two, and now I have. They are wanted the length and the breadth of the country for robberies and violent crimes.
That makes you my knight in shining armour. But listen, there's a storm brewing. Ooh, ooh. And I have a name to live up to. Why not stay the night?
I was wondering about your name, Linda. Most people just think I am a proper dick.
That concludes tonight's tale. Remember, it was just a piece of fiction. Sleep well and don't let thoughts of ghosts and ghouls enter your dreams.